And of course, you're back here with us for Game 2 of RNG taking on Snake. And what a beautiful city it is. I mean, I cannot wait to go there. I want to travel China, by the way, if you haven't already guessed. My name's Jake Osipenko. This is Brento Raz Mohammed. And it is great to be back here after what was RNG's stamp of authority over Snake.
That was huge. And I think, Snake, please respect them. Please, at some point, respect them. When the vision control is that thick in your red side jungle, they just kept walking in one by one and getting absolutely blown away by the Zoe pick in particular.
That's right, the Zoe. You know, the Vayne didn't really have anything to do with it, although he was kind of clean up crew by the end as well. The Jarvan we've seen very successful so far in the LPL, or more so, very highly prioritized. And I think the Jarvan looked great in that game as well.
Yes, he did. I even called out the idea of the Cataclysm being such a great setup tool for the Vayne. So I think the Karsa, when he finds himself looking to path around jungle, he's smart enough to recognize where is SOFM looking to plot through, and SOFM found it really difficult early on in the game to be able to look for mid lane pressure. Top lane wasn't an option for him. I think Karsa is way too clean on the map as is, and he's being able to help out Xiaohu at the same time.
It started with that vertical jungling up in the top side, and before SOFM actually caught on, it was maybe a little bit too late. The only time that he caught on was when Karsa appeared in the top side of the map.
Yeah, and already looked for a dive alongside his mid laner. So that's something where vertically jungling is a big risk. If you're the one reacting, because if you're starting out the vertical jungling, all you really need to worry about is when I'm coming into this next buff, am I going to be stopped here? And do I have to repath position? I might lose a little bit of timing if adjacent lanes are coming to help me, or maybe I'm fully committing to the buff. But if you're reacting, what are you going to do? Like, you're mostly making a bet that you're going to be going into the opposite jungle, you're also going to get stopped, or that you end up going to your camp and it's already been whisked away by the enemy jungle and you get triple buffed. So there's so much that goes wrong if you're looking to react and if you don't have the level 1 wards to really catch out the enemy jungle in transition going from buff to buff.
It's also great that you have a Zoe in the mid lane because you can get an early shove against the Vladimir. And Fen playing his first game on the Vladimir got a kill, but it was still, okay, it's Vladimir mid, we still need time to ramp up.
A little bit too much time. At least when Vladimir's in the top lane, because we've been seeing a lot of top Vladimirs, he's on the opposite side of the map. He has the time to do that. But when Vladimir is stuck right in the middle, you are forced to be able to react to plays. You have to come bottom lane to help out your duo. You have to go towards your Raptor camp where your Lee Sin's getting soloed. Like, there's a lot that you have in terms of responsibility of responding to plays. That's why Vladimir has just been shipped up top lane. At least with the bottom lane help. In the previous metas, you had teleport you can use. Technically, you can still use teleport. You can't cancel it, so you have to still fully commit to going bottom lane. And in this case, he's going up against the Zoe, so he has to go cleanse. I think if Fen's not willing to play Zoe here, and he's going up against Xiaohu, this game, assuredly, we're going to be seeing a Zoe ban.
We want to see the Lissandra. You said you wanted to see something a bit more safe, a bit more helpful towards either the bottom side or top side of the map for Snake, right?
Yeah, I think with a Lissandra, if it gets out of pick and ban, I think with so many champions being nerfed, that banning on red side is a little bit easier. You're not going to be seeing an Aatrox or Urgot ban any longer. Teams want to give that away now. And Cassiopeia is just not being banned at all as of late because teams are giving that away knowing that Zoe and Jace, all of these poking options like Ezreal, are pretty good into the pick. And so knowing that they can play against it unless if they're going up against a Cassiopeia player.
Even if Fen picks up one of the champions he's known for, even though Casted is not in the meta, and look at this point in Game 2, I want to grasp at straws for a little bit.
Give it to me.
I want to see the identity of this mid laner. The thing about Marla and Andy, felt like they tried to play what their own game was, which was a bit of a meta game. And for them, it didn't work. Freshness comes into it too, their first year in competitive play, but Fen has been around the block. And the reason that he has these champions is because he has played them time and time again. They weren't banned away. Let's see an identity that's grown here for Snake's mid laner.
See, I know what you and the fans want. What you really want is something spicy.
Oh, we do.
You want the Kassadin. You want something that he comes out with and you're like, oh my god, he looks so amazing! And even if he doesn't look amazing on it, you want to at least eat some popcorn with some enthusiasm. So the problem here is that I'm going to shut that down. I think, yeah, I know. It's depressing. Snake right now needs stability in their lineup. The biggest problem with this team for 2 years running right now is the fact that they've always come into the league being a team that's trying to be spicy doing one thing.
Yep.
Trying to be creative. We call them the mad scientist for a reason. And while being a mad scientist is great, that's why people love Griffin. Griffin comes out with some sick picks in the support position. But they have what is a base.
Yep.
A strong base that they can work off of. The best fundamentals, the best players, and so you can be creative. But if you're lacking across the board from that, you can try and nab some wins, but that hasn't been the case for Snake.
It hasn't. They're changing their player base. That is the first base that needs to be cemented here, where the Fen is a strong enough mid laner to go forward. Third rotation of mid laners here for Snake. And when you're going up against Xiaohu, maybe it's a better example to see how Fen fares. That was a hard word to say. But in game number 2, going up against Xiaohu, all right, if we don't see the different champion, let's maybe see something a little bit more controlled again. And if he does get ahead, let's see that snowball actually counteract the draft of RNG.
There's too many picks for Xiaohu that we could look forward to. I know the Zoe, I'm already casting that one away. The LeBlanc, I want to see him on. And then at that point, if you're looking, yeah, exactly. Like, there are so many champions that we have confidence in Xiaohu's ability to play. Because at the end of the day, it's the player, not the character.
Yeah, that's right.
Zoe can snowball it, get the game going forward a little bit easier.
Yep, all right.
But he can get those kills. I'm already going through this one. Lissandra's gone, but where's the Zoe ban?
I'm surprised we haven't seen it so far. Double 80 carry ban to Uzi. Snake thinking, all right, this is the best player in the roster. But after game 1, you've got more than just one player you have to worry about.
Oh my goodness. 13 seconds. Make the call.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, it's Rise. Now, Xiaohu's played, I'm pretty sure he's played one game of Rise this season.
All right, can Fen play the Zoe? I know I've been focusing on this one. Zoe, look, LeBlanc versus Zoe is a really neck-and-neck matchup. This is RNG calling out the fact that Fen is not willing to play.
Oh, it's the same again, Ashura, even though he's picked up so many games of Ezreal over to the Kai'Sa. And RNG, rinse and repeat, get ready for it. There's the Alistar. Last time it was the Jarvan that came as the first pick on red side alongside this cow.
Maybe they just go for the same pick and ban. Nothing really to change. The facilitators locked right in. I mean, the Alistar, you want to be able to take that away from Maestro and, you know, take the Alistar Kai'Sa composition away from them and still lock in what's been so successful for you in the last game. So trying to call out Snake a little bit here to see if there's any changes in their comp.
Last time it might just be the same again. The Lee Sin was picked up in the first rotation. It was SOFM who had his choice of the litter.
Yeah.
Snake changes here for Fen. That's all I'm asking. A poor boy on a ledge. He's Aurelia.
That's what I'm talking about, though.
Identity now for the Snake mid laner, if that really is him, with the Vladimir locked in as well.
Now this is when you slightly get confused, because it's still like it could be a Flandre Vladimir. You're on blue side, baby. Anything happens. Even once you see the full composition, you still look at that with a sly eye, trying to figure out if that's going to be Vladimir top. But I would expect that to be Flandre picking up the Vladimir. And the Aurelia is still a nice dive option into Zoe, so they're getting a good call out here, seeing if RNG still look to lock in the pick.
It will. It's once again. Oh, what is? Oh, I thought Xiaohu was like, oh no, why did they let me?
Maybe there is. I feel like that's going to be something we hear in the next mic check, perhaps.
All right.
Remember last time when he had like the millionth Rise game in a row?
Yeah.
They were just memeing the hell out of him. Yeah, you gonna pick Rise here? Or are you gonna pick Rise? Oh, are we gonna ban Rise? Xiaohu's like, please just ban Rise. I want to practice another champion. So certainly he's been thinking about like playing another champion that's not Zoe.
Yeah, but Zoe's just fantastic at the moment. We'll see Xiaohu's style again potentially. But different bans already from RNG in this second phase. The Zac being completely out of the wheelhouse.
Yeah, SOFM Zac is always a fun one to watch because he always has a really creative pathing where he starts on either like Raptors or Wolf Camp, so they don't get a good idea of where he's really moving on the map. Some nice bit of creativity to get his lanes like starting within the laning phase, and him just kind of working around incognito.
So FM still has his Lee Sin, however. Snake, I mean, they're really not experimenting any further than this. So far, the 3 picks there, I'm hoping, maybe I'm wrong, but Snake just banned away Poppy. Yorick again against Amazing J.
Look, I apologize, but the Kennen looked damn good on Amazing J.
It did.
I know they gave him quite a bit of advantage.
What are you apologizing for?
Well, because, like, what the hell is this Poppy and York ban at this point? He's just proven to you in game 1 that he's willing to go to Kennen and he's doing well on it. So seems like at this point they want to stick to the game plan and take away any variables.
Do you still run the Vladimir in the top lane? Well, right now you'd probably say yes, or that was the intention at the start, but we don't know as of yet. We know
that change.
If the Gragas comes in, yeah, that change will mean we know where the Gragas goes most likely.
So Gragas into Zoe and Vayne are wonderful. Just because you know where, like, Zoe doesn't have an escape tool. What she has is a repositioning tool that puts her back in the same spot. Very easy for Gragas to, like, lock in on where he needs to throw the cast.
Yep.
The Vayne also, you know, if she's afraid of one thing, it's that just any point a hard CC. It's a little easier to deal with Gragas because he's just running right at you and you can condemn him. But it's still that little bit of threat that you have to worry about. I wonder if we see another Vayne game here from Uzi with how perfectly he played the last one.
You're going into the Brom and Kai'Sa once again, so you know what your lane is. You know that you can rinse and repeat here if you're RNG.
Yeah, just lock it in.
4 out of 5 here, Raz. Let's just make it the final. 2 Vayne games back-to-back. The fans getting what they deserve here with RNG.
I mean, you gotta feel excited about this. Yeah. RNG pick and ban themselves into a position where Vayne is just a no-brainer. If you're sleeping, if you're looking at this pick and ban, going, I don't know, man, I'm not feeling it. The Vayne is literally the one pick you look at and say, oh, he's gonna smash.
Oh yeah,
and he's gonna do it with stuff.
He had a clean game 1. It was Uzi ramping up towards the end. It was Uzi cleaning house, but untouched there with the help of Ming. I look at the Ming Alistar as soon as it got locked in there, Raz, in game 2. And I say, oh, that's trouble. I see the Jarvan again. I saw the Zoe. Saw the Cannon, saw the Vayne. You know where I'm going with this.
The entire composition is the same.
And it looked so picture perfect for RNG. And Snake in their home arena. This must be demoralizing, seeing the same comp again. And you know what it's like. Going into solo queue, seeing the same players play their same champion, and you go, oh, not this garbage kit. Yeah. I don't want to go into this.
I don't want this.
This is rough. And that's what Snake would have to be going into here, with the mentality hopefully better than that in this second game.
You just hope that RNG are picking the same skins. Like, Kennon's still running in with that dumb superhero skin.
Yep.
Hope it makes a silly sound as well.
Soul still a Vayne.
Because they just need to hear it in the landing phase. Be like, I have to hear this damn thing again. Really, those are the questions that come down to the mind, because Fen started this series smiling. But he knows he has to be playing this one seriously. He's damn annoyed.
He's not smiling anymore, that's right. Snake fans out in force, they have to be. Get behind new mid laner. Will Fen deliver here in this game? He has more of a carry matchup. He doesn't need time to ramp up. He has potential more earlier on, but still needs that Trinity Force, still needs a bit of time behind him with the help of SOFM. As we get into the second game, and the Gragas change, the Aurelia change. Vladimir will go into the top side to Flandre. He's been unkillable in the past, but RNG, a whole different beast here. We'll see if Snake can fight back with 5-10 gold already. The minimap's already popping off.
Who's picking up that mad stacks? Is it the Cannon?
It was the Cannon.
Yeah.
That's quick money. What has he got? He's got 5 items.
Insane.
I reckon he had 6. I'd like to check his gold. He probably already got a pot of gold.
That's the difficult question right now. Going back into the laning phase with 6 items already. How do you even?
That's not the start you're looking for if you're Flandre. Picking up the Vladimir for his first game here in the series. It's going to be the phase rush on Vladimir. Now, not too many surprises across Summoner's Rift in this game. Of course, Airy on the Zoe. This is just, again, what I was hoping for with the 2v2. Ming's going to be running away, but that's your own Maestro. That's enough.
So, the key differences between both of these games has been Gragas and Aurelia. Fen on his Aurelia was impressive, but remember that was a stage in which Aurelia got reworked and was initially broken. She received a few changes.
Yep.
I still think she's strong, and one of the benefits of how Fen last played her was that his accuracy with his stun was actually pretty damn nice.
Yep.
And so he should be able to play out the early laning phase reasonably, but getting bullied out by Xiaohu early.
Yeah, actually already landed the stun though, so it's a very good point. Xiaohu's going to take some minion aggro as well. And sends a Paddle Star forward, but can't land a second trade-off. But this is the benefit of Corrupting Potion and Inspiration second here.
Ooh, I'm sad that the Observer has moved away from the lane because Zoe's ordinarily leveled up W second.
Yep.
That just comes down to the question of RNG now. He missed the minion wave. He must have just didn't last hit it. That just sucks.
He tried to send a Paddle Star and it wasn't quick enough.
Because that really defines how the laning phase ends up going. If he gets a GLP, Protobell, all those questions come to mind.
Hey, he has to shove in this mid lane as well, and with Kasa contesting this Scuttle Crab, SOFM could be in a bit of trouble. You can see Xiaohu's walking up here as well, but the knockup's there. SOFM blocked away from the body bop. Amazing J roaming as well. Priority all across these lanes, SOFM. Will he have to flash? Moving towards turret, so very well held for the jungler.
And remember, it's Conqueror's Jarvan. Ends up stacking it up. Extra AD that comes along with it. It's been hurting SOFM. Wants to rejoin us. Yeah, waddle right back into it, but it's actually hurting Karsa that needs to be able to get out of here.
Fen doesn't want to join as well. The minion wave's still there, so just bopping him out of his own jungle. Alright, that's 1 for 1. No, 1 out of 2, sorry. Unfortunately. We'll be counting this all game long. Fen away from the trouble bubble at 3 minutes in. Karsa's just so active, man.
He really is. He has so much faith in his adjacent lanes when he looks to invade. The communication has been key for him. This time around, SOFM is looking for mid lane, but speaking of the activity, Karsa's already out there denying SOFM.
Second time, a barrel wall will be done by SOFM to slow down Karsa, but he's ready to fight again.
Karsa is just a great wall here. I mean, he's huge. Every time I see him play the game, he's denied the enemy jungle who's pathing. This time around, SOFM, I was thinking he was going to wrap around, but ends up looking straight for Xiaohu.
Oh, that's a cleanse. That's a flash from Xiaohu. Blue buff being taken the meanwhile. Karsa sacrifices the mid for a nice little tasty buff.
But that's pretty big. The fact that SOFM's not going to get his blue buff because he prioritized it that heavily.
Hang on, Xiaohu's 1v2ing again, Raz. Here comes the Paddle Star, the flash forward. It's given over to the Zoe. SOFM has to crawl out of there with a body slam. How does he do it?
Oh no.
This time he brings in amazing J. Karsa. That is not a visual bug. He was just standing there waiting. Of course, the Gragas is already out.
He had flag, drag, flash. He was looking for the last hit on SOFM.
Yeah.
Xiaohu, man. On that Zoe. 1v2. Every damn time. He doesn't care, man. He went back to base. He didn't even need to get any more, like, dark seals. He just first bought the... Okay, I mean...
Nah, he sold for boots of the blasting one.
I like Lost Chapter. Yep. I actually just appreciated the Lost Chapter a little bit more. I think he wanted to get the boots, but he recognized that early on, if he gets Lost Chapter, he wouldn't be able to get boots or a control ward. So I guess that's his decision. He plays a lot more of a respectful game.
Knowing that Fen does need resources as well early on, and SOFM already tried to move to that mid lane. The difference this time is he wasn't caught in his own jungle, he was caught in mid.
He just found a way around the minion wave to Sleepy Trouble bubble him. That was just so damn well played. And Amazing Jay, who made the trek to get blue buff, and like help out Karsa, sees the play happen and comes join the play. So, well done. And
he didn't lose too much from it.
Yeah, he really didn't.
Same CS level as Flandre. The fact that Flandre was standing this lane as well is a good testament to him. But
I thought Kennen actually looked to get the kill, but doesn't even have an assist to his name, so it was just all Xiaohu there.
Yeah, must have been the final tick down because he threw out a star of his own.
Yep.
Picked up the Hextech. What is that revolver? It's not even a gun yet.
It looks like it if you look close enough.
Yeah, looks broken as all hell though. Ming, where are you going?
It's just a sparky gun, but yeah, he's on a journey.
It's happening again. RNG moving their resources back to the mid lane. Fen's like, what?
I'm sorry this is your first series, Fen. It almost reminds me of Solago from 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
You just gotta face some of these games, you know?
It'll make you stronger.
Help!
He's level 5. Flash forward from Big. Ignite Sand, Trouble Bubble. The flag's in too. Fen can't negate all this damage, even taking underneath the turret. Xiaohu doesn't have the flash. He will go down, but it's an execute at that. And SOFM's asking what happened to his mid laner again. Did he just body slam against the wall? I'm not sure. But they're out again.
In and out, like the wind. You see them at least. He used the damn, Body
slam? What are we looking at? The flawless duet?
No, he got caught when he used his, I call it the blue flower. When he had the blue plant.
The blue, the scrying plant.
I'll stick to the blue plant.
The blue plant, okay.
But anyways, he like that should give you a good enough idea, a good indication that he's looking to rotate.
Yeah.
But for Fen, he had two options: pick the experience up in the lane, or completely dip out. And he chose not to leave the entire lane alone, so he's gonna be struggling.
He really is. Look at where the Zoe stands now. Because of the death there, Xiaohu wasn't able to continuously push the wave out and get some turret plating.
Must be sad there's no blue pant in this jungle.
Yeah. Oh man, he's gonna have a support with it though, Raz. So you see this time, difference is Maestro's forced to help SOFM. He actually just clawing his way through as well. The AD carry's been left on an island again. And Uzi, again, is 10 CS up.
It's just that. It's a good matchup. It's a good matchup for Vayne.
Yeah.
But the difficulty is if you're picking a Braum into this, and this is why I love Vayne pick. I know historically you look at Vayne, it's the flex pick. You look at you, and I don't mean flex pick as like, you know, picking another. You're picking it to flex on somebody in lane.
I mean, it is a flex pick in the LPL as well. Don't forget, we've seen it mid, but that was of course with the Galio.
I'm just talking about the fact that this is a very smart, intellectually constructed Vayne composition.
Yep.
The Cataclysm is something I've mentioned, but on top of that, it's good into both of these champions in lane. The Braum cannot touch you if you're tumbling properly in the matchup. And then Asura, I mean, it's just, you just don't have the damage. The Silver Rope procs will be hitting you upside the head. And he's just looking to scale. So damage will always be in Vayne's favor. And then you can't lock her down with the Braum.
Killer Instinct's very predictable as well. Always ult behind a target. So Vayne knowing that, easy to get one of those condemns off as well. Asura in this matchup has once again been going up against the Cutlass picked up early by Uzi. Now level 6 in the bottom lane. Asura is the same. And against this lane, Ming and Maestro for the first time it seems like in a while are back in the lane to maybe take on the 2v2.
You'll have to expect. The summoners are coming right back for Fen, which is a big plus. Like, his flash is now, it's like 5 seconds of being online, which means SOFM can start making plays around the mid lane a little bit more reliably. You can already see him just fishing about it.
Yep, does land the flawless duet. Let's add another one to the list. The cleanse is there. You said the summoners were up, Raz. Well, I only count one. That's unfortunate.
The fact that he had to use his cleanse for that one, and SOFM wasn't ready. I wonder why. At first I thought it was a visual bug that he was just flopping about in the bush. I don't know if he used his E. At this point, I'm going insane. But I just know that there wasn't a follow-up, and now you better expect Karsa to have follow-up when he looks for this dodge.
Karsa just walked past him. Trouble bubble doesn't land, means Karsa doesn't go in. SOFM's still here.
Are you kidding me, SOFM?
He's still, now he's sweeping the brush. He's like, is it me? Is it the brush? What's going on? Finally makes a move. Explosive Karsa sends Karsa away.
How sad are you as a human being that ends up going against you?
And you lose your bottom lane. Asura, even Xiao comes down.
He was there relatively fast. He had no plans on sticking around mid lane.
Look at Maestro. Where do I go?
Yeah.
What do I do?
What do you do,
Turret
man?
plating again for Uzi and Ming Raz. Give it to me. Oh, yeah.
There is so much that happened here. Maestro went to protect up top side, but guess who gets zeroed in on here? They knew that Alistar didn't have the flash available. Of course, he's going to be able to hex flash
Oh, we're just fighting again.
Yeah.
Never mind. Cataclysm down. Slicing Maelstrom. Flounder does
Oh,
have a heap of play
Crimson
coming
Rush,
in.
baby.
Can he turn it around? The rush up and available, but on a minion wave. As Fem rolls the barrel again. Maestro does ulti, but where's the synergy with the rest of Snake? Flounder not ready to go in. The Winter's Bite hits a minion. And Snake, good theory, but the action behind it wasn't proved.
What the hell was Braum thinking? What damage are you following up? Is it going to be the Vladimir, a level 9 Vladimir? Is it the Gragas who's going to follow up when you press the ulti on the Jarvan? So that's the only thing I'm going to say. I think the ultimate from Maestro is a bit much, but overall the play to go on top of Karsa and Amazing J to start was good. I like that.
Good theory behind it. Amazing J is falling behind in this lane. So this time, Amazing J not going to have the simplified Kennen game where he can just sit in a lane, move to the one fight, and be at the point where RNG just need to close it out. This time, RNG put up with a bit more force, but I'm saying that, and you all know it's pretty close to being the same. With a Zoe that's a big threat in the mid lane, with a Vayne that is having the farm game of her life after a beautiful max range condemn before.
Yeah, she's living it up right now. It allows RNG the confidence to just play Warden across the red side jungle. I think he's going to feel a little bit of damage, but he shouldn't feel too pressured by the amount of damage coming across him.
Hang on, look at Xiaohu. Ooh, we're not going to go for it. Even though Ming does get pushed out in that bottom wave. Snake.
It's a warning shot.
They are still trying to contest this Mountain Dragon. Oh, will they still go?
It's another warning shot.
Oh,
how about this point be the real shot?
Duet. Oh, baited in. False sense of security.
Well, one of these hit. Hey, good question to the play-by-play. Is Zoe Q, you know, is that a skill shot? You know?
No.
No?
It's you just click, point and click.
Yeah, it's completely point and click.
Point and click.
Yeah, Xiaohu is definitely the easiest Qs of his life.
Yeah.
So you guys know.
Just making it look simple. You'll go into solo queue tonight, folks.
Yep.
You'll sit down, you go, look, Xiaohu. Yeah, you know what we should do? We should play the Zoe. And you know what will happen?
What?
You'll go 0 and 5. Because unfortunately, life is not like a competitive game for RNG right now.
You're a rude dude.
I'm such a rude guy. Maybe that's just my Zoe. Xiaohu
definitely is.
Absolutely styling on it. They pick up the Mountain Drake in the bottom side of the map. RNG.
So take a look at the CS advantage immediately from Vladimir. Like with the gank topside that actually pushed off Kennen, wave got crashed into tower. It's a real situation where Snake have a strong side of the map to work with. Bot side may be facing some struggles.
Yep.
Mid lane catastrophe's been happening, but even with the 2 deaths, he's been keeping up in farm. So right now, Fenpen and Flandre have a pretty good shot this game.
Stabilizes the gold quite a bit. RNG were ahead by about 3,000. Flandre's brought that back into his favor against the Klepto Kennen. See turret plating going down as well. There's going to be first turret given over to RNG.
Oh, that's a whole new wave to deny under tower. He's just going to sit pretty idly by here. Asura's losing so much here.
He is. But at least Snake are getting the Rift Herald. A difference between last game, not losing out on all 3 lanes across the map for Snake. They have their win condition now. They have possibilities to exploit with Rift Herald up as well.
That was first brick right there for Vayne, and she got 610 gold off of that.
Yeah. People said that first brick doesn't give gold, doesn't give much anymore, doesn't give as much.
He has 140 CS, 14 minutes into the game.
He's keeping his stat.
Remember last game, 18 minutes in, he's already has his Rage Blade. He's working up to that point.
So Uzi hasn't been in fights just yet. Outside of his lane, you know he soon will be. Getting towards that 2-item spike. 20 CS ahead himself.
Yeah, give me that red buff.
That's his.
Hey, I see you.
Here we go, mid lane. Let's do it.
Give me that mid lane wave. Yeah, you better give that one to me.
All right, Fenpen. Are you going to stick around? 2v1. Might not actually be a 2v1 with 3 people going to converge back onto this mid lane.
I'm more concerned with the lonely Kaisi.
Oh, how?
What did you expect?
How? Xiaohu! How? The killer instinct there. What? But Xiaohu just flashes towards him. Oh my lord.
I don't blame the Kaisa. Give me a shield. Give me a chance at survival. He thought he was playing that one as safe as he could in between the minion wave. But I'm sorry. Nice ultimate, SOFM. You just dirtied a play that just happened 5 seconds ago.
Nice to meet you. That's Zoe 2 kills. Amazing J ulting in the top side as Flandre trying to even up the score. Good flash. How does Amazing J do it here? Well, underneath the Sanguine pool, the Crimson Rush will keep him safe. And he picks up a solo kill of his own.
This is a Flandre game. I'm feeling it. But it seems like RNG across the map are just working too fast.
Who's going to get there first? RNG, of course, going to be the case if this keeps it up. 3k gold lead. Xiaohu in the side brush here. Flandre's in his own lane. He still wants his own gold.
Look.
In this game too. Oh, no.
Whenever the observers just toggle vision, when they just toggle vision like that, that's how much confidence our observers have.
What is that?
Where is he? Please tell me where he really is. Like, I have had it. I just want to know where Xiaohu's sitting.
For 4 patches now. Right in the thick of it. Asura going to get bopped on in, almost bopped into the sleepy trouble bubble. RNG progressing forward now.
I'm not asking for much, man.
But for this,
oh, did he hit him?
He hit him through the minion wave, Raz. Trouble bubble, in it comes! Can't siphon that one through, that's for sure.
All right, here comes Fen though. I mean, he should be on the side lane.
But how do you get near? How do you get near this pit?
I think what he needs to stay bot side. I know the wave is pushing out and just needs a vision on whoever's going to pick up that bot side wave. It's been Zoe on side lane anyways with how strong he's been. But you just need to be seeing Snake trying to split the map up and allow Flandre to start working here.
But here we go again.
Okay. Once again, toggle vision as if he's just going to throw it.
Yeah. Xiaohu locked on down. Is he actually here? What is Xiaohu doing? He stopped for a second, and now he's dead.
They finally got him.
Oh, Casa as well.
They finally found the perp.
Either he was window shot, he just didn't move for a second.
He just gave up on life.
Amazing Jay's getting flashed on as well. Second solo kill for Flandre.
This has not been a good game for Amazing Jay.
No.
I was pretty hype on the fact that he was going right back to the Kennen pick, because last game he got the CS lead that was gifted to him by Karsa's early fights. I mean, even Xiaohu a little bit as well. But mano a mano with Flandre, he's just been losing out what should be a great matchup for him.
He's now pushed to the top side. Riffel's crashing in the mid. Snaker getting gold, which is very concerning for RNG. Ming almost gets bursted under turret, having to break the unbreakable will. Snake will push mid. Look at gold. Pretty much even. RNG don't have as much control as we thought.
All right, so it seems like Zoe's definitely back in the game. You know, just a simple AFK, my friend. Okay. That's all it really was.
Still doing the amounts of damage. Probably doesn't land through that one, but let's just wait. Yeah, there's too many sound effects on Gragas.
Not enough, in my opinion.
We can go further. Probably flies through. RNG still setting up for this fight. Snake doing exactly the same, but you can see through this choke, Xiaohu having exactly what he wants. Amazing Jay's joined the fight as well. Who's going to be better? Flandre, Amazing Jay. I give it to Flandre. He's got 3 items.
Woo! I
but
give it to
Zoe.
Zoe.
Doesn't have a health bar, yeah.
I give it to Zoe. There was enough, you know, poke on top of Fen, but that one takes the cake.
It's 2.5, excuse me, as well. Xiaohu just might have secured the Infernal Dragon with one combo.
That's how difficult it is. I talk about Zoe being a win condition of her own. I mean, RNG came into this kind of composition like, oh, Cataclysm. Like, Kennen Ultimate on top of that. And see where Vayne coming slowly. But at this point in time, it's literally just try and fish for a nice Sleepy Trouble Bubble. This is the solo kill you know, Flandre had. Got this Clemson Rush and Phase Rush bonus. So, like, the movement speed. My God, he was actually just the fastest man on the planet. So Amazing Jay didn't recognize that.
To get 2 solo kills in one game is pretty impressive feat.
Out of Vladimir, too.
That's Styles on his Aatrox game in game 1, which made Aatrox not look impacting whatsoever.
Yes, the wave is slowly coming towards him.
He's building it up.
Flandre is waiting.
Flandre versus the world.
He's waiting for someone. At the same time, no
one's coming. Baron's going to come off in 15 seconds. Flandre has teleport. He'll spot people out with a ward. Finally does show himself in that bottom lane. See if RNG act accordingly. Start threatening away this Baron, threatening the TP. There's no vision there that's deep enough to see the Baron for Snake. RNG still playing around that. Flandre in a side lane has to be dealt with by Amazing Jay.
And we already know how that goes. A lot of times RNG, when it comes down to a weak side of the map, they end up trying to play to it a little bit too much. They try bringing in Karsa and X. In this case, it could be Xiaohu, to try and see if they can bully out that situation. But at this stage of the game, 20 minutes in, you should start playing towards Baron buff. Keep Amazing Jay on that planet and try and speed the game up so Flandre is forced to teleport rather than looking to split push.
Try and bait in this mid lane turret as well. We know RNG only have 2 members here for now, but Xiaohu's there over the wall. The wave clear going to come through. There he is. That's not him at half health. Explosive cards. He has to flash too. Ignites down, slow down, but a glacial Fissure. In comes Zoe once again for another trial run. Cataclysm flashed on. Here comes Amazing Jay too. And everything seems to be perfectly executed for RNG. But Flandre, as he joins the fight, can he take down Xiaohu? The answer, no. And still the bullets cut through the Vladimir. The blood, not enough. Everyone jumps in. Flandre was feeling his toes. And I don't even know what they look like at this point. As Xiaohu gets jumped on. Still not good enough. And Snake will feel the burn of their losses in the form of Uzi's Vayne, in the form of a big, full-blown 4-man fight.
That was a hell of a team fight. Gotta make sure if that's what I think it is. Xiaohu's been in the league for so long. Been able to help the team out.
It's killed instead. You know what, Raz? Happy with it anyway on a champion like the Zoe, 5-2 and 3. A very well-deserved game.
Yeah, that's 1,500 kills for him in the league. 8th place in terms of just how many kills he has for himself. So Xiaohu getting a celebration involved. 5 kills in this game. He better be able to come out with the MVP with this kind of a performance. Take a look at this.
So well.
Yes, Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to be able to catch Braum too. So They got to keep one person behind. It can't be SOFM, Fen, Asura just trying to slowly see if they can help their members across, because just throw someone to the wayside. The Cataclysm holding in SOFM too is excellent. Take a look at SOFM. Just sitting there. No HP involved, thinking he can help out. Wasn't going to be the case. In fact, Flandre puts in so much DPS just to be able to help his team. And then Greg's, in the meantime, just holding out, thinking maybe I can help out in this one. So he finally comes in, misses, and dies for his troubles. We see this domino effect so frequently for Snake. Does he get the kill? Yeah, of course he got the kill. Why am I even asking the question?
I both love and hate this champion at the same time. Banshee's Veil picked up for Xiaohu.
He was looking for him. He knew he was in there.
Almost found him as well. There's 1 minute on the Infernal. Great, give him a double Infernal. They have the Baron. RNG have the tools for success here in this series. This has been very cut and dry, Raz. Snake putting up more of an effort in game number 2, rather fight, because we know the effort is already there for Snake, trying to make their way to playoffs. RNG was merely the start, but may as well be the conclusion here.
It's a tough road for Snake, it really is. I mean, at least when they're looking at the last series and seeing that WE ended up losing to Invictus Gaming, they know that they have some time to work with.
Yeah.
And they're knowing that Sino Dragons are also finding themselves not in the worst scenarios. Oh my god, that is so close.
That's the proto belt. The wave's gone, by the way, so Midge is going to push in, but...
Well, let's see how he does.
Do you have time to talk about this? Maestro gave you a little.
I literally don't.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a TLDR. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to make it to playoffs.
It's a hard road. RNG playing very well, leading us to believe that playoffs for them is more than a pipe dream. It's not even a dream. I don't know what dreams. It's a nightmare for Snake. For RNG, it's bliss with Ming getting a 2-man headbutt pulverized. Look at it again, Raz. Everyone explodes. Amazing J's even joining in. Ashura, you will not live past this moment. Mark my words. And in the back line of Snake trying to play disruptors with Flandre. Xiaohu joins in again. Here it comes. It's a missile. It's a barrage. It's an ace for RNG.
Look, it's so beautiful to see Flandre come out with those outplays, but I still don't understand what the game plan is for Snake to stick around that turret. That wasn't even their inhibitor turret, but they drew the lines of just sitting there like ducks.
What is going to happen for now for Snake? When does it come together for the mad scientists? This game potentially, but 11,000 gold disadvantage as RNG cannot end just yet. Death timers way too shallow at 24 minutes in the game.
Look, not only did they open up the wounds, they threw in salt, pepper, paprika, anything they could. Like, that wound is mucked up. That's not a good wound right now. And Snake are the victims in all of this. Is it harsh? I think as a conclusion, if I'm looking at Snake across the board, I think they're better with Fen. It's just not an issue of the mid lane. It's more of the decision making.
Yep.
For them to be under that tower for this long, they knew Amazing J was pushing up mid and that he had completely shoved that one up. They knew Alistar was just sitting there, walking up forward, but they still stuck underneath that tower.
Theory behind it was good.
How?
For the flank. The theory. Not the theory. The potential of theory behind it was good.
Potential of
theory.
Right.
Trying to justify what's happening here.
You're trying your hardest, man. You're digging in deep.
Flandre was looking for the flank. And he was trying to dig in deep right into the middle of the competition.
It's a bottomless pit of ideas, and you're sure there is a scrap of paper in there that will give you the right answer. And usually it's, I think you can wait a little bit longer. Go back towards your inhibitor tower. There's a good song of knowing when to fold them, walk away. That kind of nonsense. I don't listen to country music, but at least I got the message. I think they need to listen to country music.
Snake have listened to it. They know when to run. Snake are just pacing themselves outside their own base, and it's difficult even to get some vision in the closest brush. As Xiaohu waiting, lurking. A bubble has never looked so terrifying. You remember bath time as a kid. It looked nothing like this.
Oh, no.
There was no death, no destruction, no sleepy trouble bubbles, because you always felt revitalized after a bath. Xiaohu is doing the opposite. It's black ink in this bath, and Xiaohu knows that you fear it with your life.
And all of that, you think that they've successfully pushed off the wave, and technically they did. But that Nexus turret is getting hurt. Another a super minion wave is coming through both mid lane and top lane. And now Vayne and Kennen are both accompanying it. So this is just impossible for Snake to deal with. They need to force a fight now. They can't get them when they're split up. They'll never get them.
Xiaohu has blue buff. This is not going to stop just from the bottom wave alone. Cleared out immediately.
Right.
And Amazing J ults in. Cataclysm again. The composition easy to execute, but Amazing J gets taken down. Is this enough for Snake? Does it get forced back to their fountain? Uzi in the final hour, inhibitor goes down. RNG with a 4 versus 4.
Exhausted him.
But here comes the headbutt pulverize once again. Lockdown, flawless duet. Ming has done enough to lock him in place, but Xiaohu's done even more. Uzi for the cleanup crew, and this for RNG, a defining moment yet again. Dance, puppet, dance, says Raz out of the corner of my eye. This is RNG playing with their puppets, being the masters.
2-0 in Chongqing. We wanted to see what current day RNG looked like. And I'm sure that's Xiaohu. Please stand up, Xiaohu. That's definitely Xiaohu.
Okay.
Putting his shoes on. Better believe that he goes in with them socks.
Saw Amazing J with his head down at the end of that series as well. I think he really felt the weight of, I guess, his laning phase.
Yes.
In the second game as his cannon.
Game 2, I thought, was super well done by Flandre. Flandre in Game 2 is what you want to see out of this team, but with some structure around it.
Yep.
So I know we're coming down the last few weeks of the LPL spring split. And for Snake, it gets harder and harder, much like the Los Angeles Lakers. You may have some good players on there, but where the hell is the structure? We're like, what's happening in that lineup? Where's the communication involved? And it feels like they're just going through the motions. I want to see like a shot calling change on that team.
Yep.
And there's a lot that can happen between now, end of split, perhaps now, end of year. But I think the change from Mala and Andy to Fun has actually been a pretty good move. It's a step forward.
And as I've said about a lot of teams in the LPL, maybe it's just a time factor. Maybe it's just a spring split. You go back and you look and say, this is our developmental split moving towards summer, much like Vici.
Yeah, and I think that for Snake, that was the case. They probably didn't come into this split with that idea. I think Vici and Rogue Warriors certainly did. But with Snake, they had a lot of aspirations, much like WE. And they're probably still pumping. They started trying to push for playoffs in the final weeks. Remember, last split, summer split 2018, that is, they were just one game away. Bumped out by FPX in the playoff.
That's right.
So they have that kind of imagery in the back of their head, and they don't want to find themselves in that same position, so every series counts.
Isn't it the same story, though, from Snake? You're either into playoffs, the run is short and sweet, or for Snake, you're so close to it, yet so far. In previous splits as well, you know, sitting towards the bottom of the pack, it's either disappointment or it's a fact of Snake are building you up for something that never comes.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the competition is rough. And if you're going into the LPL, every time we look at the top 8 of the league, like, that's just tough in the end of the day. Maybe you look at Sino Dragons as the only opening point, but we have so many sick newcomers, and I think BLG lead that newcoming pack alongside with TOP.
So excited
like,
about the BLG,
there's a lot of excitement that's coming in for our top 8. And I think one thing that I see in this series is a point of like, hey, the old guard, specifically Flandre, I know that you keep hitting on the fact that he has never missed a game. There's a reason for that.
Yep.
As long as he's healthy, as long as he's willing to play, he's going to play because he just has that factor.
Of course, Flandre is the experienced member. SOFM is working into that core as well. And
that was a bad game for the past year.
But that was a bad game, yeah. I don't know what to say about Snake right now, sitting down with Rogue Warriors, with teams like OMG, with WE as well. There's 4 teams sitting at the bottom of the pack.
So I'll come out with an opinion that people will like, because Snake is a team that everyone's going to have an opinion on what needs to happen.
Yep.
So before we go into what makes RNG successful, I think for Snake, one thing that happens consistently is poor shot calling, poor decision making, weird decisions, right? Early on in the game, SOFM hits you with something exceptional mechanically.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we would look towards the mid lane and say that needs to improve. Once upon a time, they had Zatai in the mid lane. I thought he did very well. But that identity still held the same for Snake.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of being able to challenge certain positions, and I think challenging for jungle needs to happen, where SOFM is the leader, shot caller, point of focus, and then if you're seeing every other, literally every other point of the map changing, where Houdier was seen as a great support, but they were still having woes, where mid lane came in and they had some great moments, but then there wasn't a point of success for the squad. So I think we need to nail down just the strategic aspect for the team early on, and also the mid-game shot calling, because there's a lot of like holes in a lot of the decisions being made. So that's on that frame of
That's
thing.
in the maybe pile.
That's later.
What's the yes pile?
Right now, RNG is yes.
Yeah.
You just say, if you ever hear RNG in your peripheral, somewhere out there, you just respond with a yes. Right now, every series they come in, they keep looking stronger and stronger. They're looking like a playoff team.
I know.
And the only player that's in question right now
is Amazing Jay.
Yes. Yes. That's the wrong yes, but that's definitely still a yes.
Game 2 Amazing Jay was rough, but it's great that RNG, everyone else covers.
Yeah.
That's good. You said something that I piqued my curiosity, is that RNG try to play around, whether it's that losing lane or the lane that has a deficit, a lot of the time trying to recover it.
This was in the past. I felt like when we found RNG in a final setting versus an EDG, they had 2 frames of focus, and it was really just bully side lane. Either, in the past, it was like, bully side lane, if Let Me in this instance had a lead, then you consistently go towards it. I think that's a good idea to go for it. I think that's fine. The option other is Baron buff. But if a lane with utility, in particular like an Urgot, is in a deficit, but you can stabilize the matchup so you don't have to deal with a hectic split pusher. They go towards that far more often rather than trying to speed the game up by pushing for Baron and trying to pull him away from the side lane. I think that's an old criticism for them, and that's something that I hope they don't fall back into, because Amazing Jay, even in good matchups, will fall behind. But he's still a fantastic team fighter. And so pulling him into team fights, while it's great, as you can see from pulling Vladimir, he can't do too much when he's not prepared. Also, Amazing Jay still has some great moments in fights. So,
Makes sense.
There we go. Pull him to Amazing Jay's strength and the weakness of the enemy top laner.
You can see why RNG picked him up for the first time, in 2019.
Yes.
Pull him into a team fighting team with people like Xiao who are performing so well. And, of course, bring your MVP up, because this man performed Game 1, Game 2 consistently on this pick.
6th MVP, and you feel bad about that because it feels like he deserves a little bit more. But he's on a stacked lineup in RNG.
Yeah, he is.
36% damage percentage. He was the point of focus at all times. Sleepy Trouble Bubbles hitting 94% kill participation. Actually round that up to 95.
Yeah, why not?
Let's get in there. I'm feeling a little bit generous.
Look, that Zoe was oppressive, annoying. 2 games in a row, Xiaohu took a 1v2 and came out the other side ahead.
What I said about going into game 2, what I wanted to see.
Ban
the Zoe! Ban the Zoe. Make it somehow challenging for Xiaohu. Xiaohu is just too good on the Zoe pick. And I know that a lot of times it's never as easy as banning the Zoe, because if they go towards Alessandra, like, let's say for whatever reason he picks Vladimir. It's still going to be an RNG win, maybe 30 or 40 minutes into the game. But at least you get a little bit more breathing room where someone doesn't get blown up that quickly. That being said, Snake picked a composition that should have been easier to deal with the Zoe. Aurelia and Gragas were the picks to deal with Zoe. So they recognized what they were going into, picked for it, and then just fell face first. Specifically, SOFM did not have a good game and was just sitting in. There's one moment that's vivid in my mind, sitting in that bush waiting for his time to shine. Didn't find anything. I was like, I got to find something. J4 walks right by. Body slam, ulti, and he's gone. You're like, all right, well, I tried. So
flash for flash.
It's unfortunate. You find those moments, and you hope that tomorrow is going to be better for the team. And I think that communication is going to get better with Fan and SOFN, I'm sure. I just wonder what the summer Snake look like. Well, I know what I'm getting out of RNG right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'm getting is like a championship contender in RNG.
Absolutely right. For a team like RNG, another victory on the board. Let's bring up those standings, because RNG, IG, TOP, FPX, names you know, but Billy Gaming is still neck and neck with them, Raz.
Yeah, I mean, getting that extra win. We talked about the fact that RNG don't have the amount of games that, Fun plus TOP and Invictus Gaming have. They just need that one extra game. Give them that one extra set. Allow them to be able to tie 8-2. So even though Invictus Gaming find themselves 8 wins, they also have the extra game played. TOP are the ones that are running in there with the least amount of losses.
beating FPX earlier tonight. A fun fact for you all as well, we will see the matchup of RNG and Bilibili Gaming coming up after RNG face-off against Rogue Warriors, who are down the bottom of the table there. And there is a good strength of schedule for them. Of course, IG coming up in week 9, I believe, of RNG as well.
That's going to be real fun. I mean, FPX's whole travel, if there are 2 teams for you to watch, it's FPX and BLG.
Yeah.
FPX still have that road that they're going through. BLG still have that road where they're like last 2 weeks are the most difficult one.
Strength of schedule. Our new theme tune here in the LPL, it seems like. That's what happens when you have 16 teams and 12 of them being absolutely bonkers. We'll have a look at tomorrow's matchups as well, because on Monday we cement our week 8 coming in with actually 2 exciting matchups for me.
Yeah, JDG versus Vici Gaming and EDG versus OMG. For me, I want to see what OMG has to offer after their victory over Suning in a shocking fashion. And EDG losing to LGD, anything can happen in the LPL. Right. And it feels like OMG is fighting back, bringing back Ale. And so we're going to get Ale versus Ray.
That'll be exciting.
One of our 2 best top laners in the league.
I know you're excited about that second matchup.
Yes.
Is it wrong, or is it too late for me to say that I still believe in Vici, bringing in ZDZ?
Yeah, I think so. I think bringing in ZDZ makes sense because like they have a great LDL team. They really do have a great LDL core. The only problem is that, once again, if you're in a developmental split, keep it to the split. Remember that these players are playing for something. If you bring in ZDZ, well, guess what? He hasn't played in the LPL, has he? So we're getting into week 8, and we're now having him freshly develop. I wanted to see more Chalitza.
We've got 3 weeks left, although Vici may have lost too many games to secure playoffs. We're starting to get a better understanding of who is in the top 12, Raz. Finally, before we leave, looking at the top 8 now, confident in what you see, or would you like to see Suning up there, and do you think Suning are going to be up there?
I don't even. Suning's got to show me something for me to be in the like that word to be in the conversation for me. We'll talk later, but you're saying top? No, the new conversation is if they can make that 8th place spot. So that's their battle. For now, it's about BLG, IG, FBX, and RNG.
I ask now because I want to be cheeky about it. We have 3 weeks left until we go to playoffs. Week 8 starting tomorrow for you, ladies and gentlemen. Big thank you to Raz. Big thank you to Clement, who was with you up until I took over. And big thank you to our production here at Dominion. We'll be back tomorrow for more English broadcast of the LPL.